Hey, thanks for tuning into my channel. Today, this story is dedicated to my oldest daughter, Winter Jade, and it's from this book, The Anti-Racist Kitchen. Okay, check it out. And this particular story is called A Cake for My Bully by Natasha Deen. You see this? All right, Jade, that's for you. I'm going to change one of the names and put yours in there. Okay, see which character you are. The cake sat on the kitchen table, drizzled with pink icing and topped with silver candy spears. It was beautiful, and it made me nauseous every time I looked at it. The cake wasn't for me. My mom had baked it for my bully. Not bought it, baked it. I was 5 years old, and for weeks, a group of ninth grade boys had terrorized me and my 7-year-old sister. Commanded by the ringleader, they waited for us before and after school. They threw stone-packed snowballs, hurled ethnic slurs, and screamed for us to go back home. My sister and I endured, braced ourselves against the onslaught, and pretended it wasn't destroying us. I cried every night, wondering what was so wrong with my skin color that gave people permission to assault me. I went to bed wishing I could be a different color, wishing I could feel safe in my body again. When I couldn't stand it anymore, I told my parents. They cried, and I hated myself for hurting them. The next day, my mom said, "We're going to find that ringleader." I didn't want to, but I wouldn't disobey my mom. We knocked on our neighbor's doors until she found out who he was. Hey, baby. I imagine my mom with a firm voice phoning and telling the ringleader to never speak those words again and to leave us alone. Instead, she invited him over and baked him a cake. Now, what you think she up to, Jade? What you think she up to? Did you see that? That's really nice. Let's see. I was heartbroken. She was supposed to protect me. Instead, she had told him where we lived. A few days later, he arrived with his grandfather. We stood in a circle talking, hesitantly. Then the words and feelings spilled out. For my sister and me, it was fear and confusion. What had we ever done to deserve this? From him, there were only 8 words. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. He sobbed them through his tears. He begged, kneeling in front of us and clutching our hands. My sister and I cried too. After the cake had been eaten and they left, a question arose. Had he been pretending for the adults? Had I been wrong to forgive him? The next morning he was at school. No stones in his hands, no hate in his heart. Only more words. Are you okay? Has anyone hurt you? Can I help you? Before and after school, he was there, our bully turned guardian, protecting us. Years later, I still hear from the sound of his heartbeat against my ear as we hugged that day. Every time I think of him, I'm reminded that our stories have power. They can change hearts and turn bullies into friends. What do you think of that story? This is a lady from Guyanese, Canadian author. Her name is Natasha Deen. This is her. This is what she looks like. An African lady like us. She writes for kids, teens, and adults. She believes the world has changed one story at a time and enjoys helping people find and tell the stories that live inside them. Well, this is her cake. It sounds like it might be good and probably not as delicious as yours are, Jade, but it's got vanilla, it's got butter, sugar, and vanilla, and I think tons of kindness. So, what did you think of that story? How do you think that cake made that bully change into a friend? I think they killed him with kindness. I think they taught him a lesson. Her mother was super smart, just like yours. All right, Merry Christmas, Jade.